Hello friends, now we'll start the new topics, that is the touching circles. When the two circle touches externally, find out the distance between their centers, and when the two circle touches internally, find out their distance between their centers. And also I will explain the practice set 3.2. Now let us start. Touching circles. Now see this figure. Note that line is a common tangent to these two circles. You must have understood the circles in both figures are coplanar and intersect at one point only. Such circles are said to be circle touching each other. And now again see this, these two circle touches externally, they touch at the point 1, and these two circle touches internally, they touch at the point 1. To find out the distance between their centers is equals to the, for these circles, when these two circle touches externally, the distance between their centers is equal to the sum of the radius. And what about here? When the two circle touches internally, the distance between their centers is equal to the difference between their radius. Now, touching circles can be defined as follows. If the two circles in the same plane intersect with a line in the plane in only one point, they are said to be touching circles, and the line is their common tangent. The point common to the circles and the line is called their common point of contact. Now the next is that is the theorem of the touching circles. If the two circles touch each other, their point of contact lies on the line joining their centers. Here given C is the point of contact of the two circles with the center A and B. To prove that the point C lies on the line AB, now see this here figure. Let the line L be the common tangent passing through the point C of the two touching circles. Line L is a perpendicular to AC, line L is a perpendicular to BC, and therefore the segment AC is a perpendicular to line L, and the segment BC is a perpendicular to line L. Through C, only one line perpendicular to L can be drawn, and that's why the point CAB are the collinear. Now let's remember this. The point of contact of the touching circles lies on the line joining their centers. If the circles touch each other externally, the distance between their centers is equal to sum of their radii. The distance between the centers of the circle touching internally is equal to the difference of their radii. Now we'll start the practice set. Two circles having the radii 3.5 cm and the 4.8 cm touch each other internally. Find the distance between their centers. Let the radius of smaller circle be r1 and the radius of bigger circle be r2. r1 is equal to 3.5 cm, r2 is equal to 4.8 cm. The distance between the centers of the circle touching internally is equal to the difference of their radii. The distance between their centers is equal to r2 minus r1, that's equal to 4.8 minus 3.5, and that's equal to 1.3 centimeter. Therefore, the distance between the centers is equal to 1.3 centimeter. Now the next problem, two circles of the radii 5.5 centimeter and 4.2 centimeter touch each other externally. Find the distance between their centers. Let the radii of the circles are r1 and r2 respectively. r1 is equal to 5.5 centimeter, r2 is equal to 4.2 centimeter. If the circles touch each other externally, the distance between their centers is equal to sum of their radii. Therefore, the distance between their centers is equal to r1 plus r2. And it's very simple, that is the 5.5 plus 4.2, therefore that's equals to 9.7 centimeter. Therefore, the distance between their centers is equals to 9.7 centimeter. Now the problem number 3. If the radii of the two circles are 4 centimeter and 2.8 centimeter, draw figure of these touching circles, that is externally and the internally in the figure. The center with the circle A have the radius 4 centimeter and the circle with the center B have the radius 2.8 centimeter. and uh, the P is a point of their contact. For the figure 2, that is these two circle touches internally having the center A and the center B. You can draw this figure. Now the next is in the circle with the center P and Q touch each other at R. A line passing through R meet the circle at A and B respectively. Then prove that the segment AP is a parallel to segment BQ. Triangle APR is a similar to triangle RQB, and find the measure of angle RQB if the measure of angle PR is equals to 35. Now see this figure. These two circles having the center P and Q touches at the point R, and the AB is the line segment which touches these two circles at the point A and B. Now first of all, that is we'll prove that this AP is a parallel to QB. What's happening here? That is a triangle APR, and that is in this triangle, that is AP is equals to PR. These are the radii of the circles, and therefore the angle opposite to these two congruent sides are congruent. That is a measure of angle PAR is equals to measure of angle PRA. That is the isosceles triangle. Also in this figure, that is the RQ and the QB are the radii of the circles, and therefore the measure of angle QRB is equals to measure of angle QBR. That is the angles opposite to these two congruent sides. Now see this here. That is a segment PA is a congruent to segment PR, and the segment QB is a congruent to segment QR. That is the radii of the same circle, and that's why measure of angle PAR, measure of angle PAR is a congruent to measure of angle A or PRA. And for the second circle, that is a measure of angle QBR. QBR is a congruent to measure of angle QRB. These are that is the isosceles triangle theorem. Also, the measure of angle ARP is a congruent to measure of angle QRB. These are the vertically opposite angles, and as these are the vertically opposite angles, therefore the angle PAR is a congruent to angle QBR, but we will have the another name also. That is the angle PAB is a congruent to angle QBA. PAB is a congruent to QBA. But these two angles are the alternate angles for the line AP and the QB, where AB is their transversal, and therefore by the alternate angle test, these two triangles, these two lines are parallel. That is, the segment AP is a parallel to segment BQ. Now the next, we'll show that these two triangles are similar, and what's happening here, that is the angle PRA is a congruent to angle QRB. These are the vertically opposite angles, and also as these two are the congruent, therefore this angle A, that is the angle PAR is a congruent to angle QBR, because these two are the congruent. All the angles are the congruent, and therefore that is a by angle test, these two triangles are similar. Now see this here, that is the angle PRA is a congruent to angle QRB, opposite angles. Angle PAR is a congruent to angle QBR, that is from 3, and therefore the triangle APR is a similar to triangle BQR by the angle test. Also next, in triangle PAR, we'll find out the measure of angle, that is a BQR. In triangle PAR, what's happening? PAR is equals to 35, and therefore the measure of angle PRA is equals to 35, because these two angles are the congruent. Also, these are the vertically opposite angles, therefore the measure of angle QRB is 35, and the measure of angle QBR is equals to also 35. As therefore, if we measure the sum of the angles of the triangles, that's 180, 180 minus 70, that is 110. Also, these two triangles are similar triangles, therefore the measure of angle APR is congruent to measure of angle BQR. See this here. That is a measure of angle APR is equals to 110. APR is equals to 110, and therefore, as these two triangles are similar, therefore the measure of angle BQR is also 110. Now the last is, that is in figure, the circle with the center A and B touch each other at the point E. Let That is, a line L is a common tangent to the common tangent which touches the circles at the C and D respectively. Find the length of the CD if the radii of the circles are 4 centimeter and the 6 centimeter. Now see this here. Draw a ray parallel to segment AB through the point C. It intersect BD in F. That is, from this point C, draw CF, which is parallel to AB, and it intersect BD at the point F. Now, in this case, that is, a CF is parallel to AB, and also AC and the BD are perpendicular to the same line, and that's why AC and the BD is also parallel. That is, AC is a parallel to BF. That is what's happening in the quadrilateral ABFC. Opposite sides are parallel, and therefore the quadrilateral ABFC is a parallelogram. See this here. That is, the BF is equals to AC, opposite sides of the parallelogram. BF is equals to 4 because AC is 4, and these are the two opposite sides of this parallelogram. Also, BD is equals to BF plus DF, and we know the value of that is, the BD is equals to 6 and BF is 4. 4 plus DF is equals to 6, and therefore DF is equals to 2. Now we'll consider the triangle CDF. What's happening? That is, a CF is a hypotenuse. Therefore, the CF square is equals to CD square plus DF square, and therefore CD square plus DF square is equals to CF square by the Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, CD square DF is a 2 and CF is a 10. Therefore, CD square is equals to 100 minus 4. Therefore, CD square is equals to 96, and if you take the square root on both sides, then you will have CD is equals to root of 96, and 96 can be written as 16 into 6. What is the square root of this 16? Is a 4 root 6. Therefore, the length of CD is equals to 4 root 6 centimeter. And in this way, we have completed the practice set 3.2. Now we'll see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.